I'm gonna get cozy. Hello everyone, a video that I posted like a year ago. It was probably like my third video ever that I posted about my CNA bag is getting a lot of attention recently for some reason, and it makes me sad because that video is almost painful for me to watch because I just feel like I'm a little bit better on camera now, but also my technique has changed a little bit as far as being a CNA and working nights. So I thought I would just give you a little update on that video, and hopefully this one is a little bit less painful to watch. I'm not using oatmeal to balance my camera, but I am using natural peanut butter, so some things still haven't changed. Don't have a tripod still, but we're working on it. So today I want to talk about how to be a good night nurse and how to survive night shifts. I know I pride myself on how much sleep that I get during the semester, but I'll let you in on a little secret. During the summer times, I'm usually like a 24/7 nurse, and I'll work nights and then I'll work all day long, and it's not very healthy. I'm just bad at saying no. So I've got some tips and tricks for you. Definitely have experience if anything. So let's do it. So the first thing, pretty intuitive. If you want to survive a night shift, I would suggest taking a darn nap during the day. I like to take a 2 to 3 hour nap during the day before my night shift, and I like to be awake 2 hours, at least 2 hours before my actual shift, so I don't have like nap sleepiness when I arrive at my shift. So that would be like taking, if my shift starts at 8 o'clock, I would take a nap and be awake by 6, so like 3 to 6, wake up, and then I would eat food or take a shower or do something between the time of 6 and 8 to kind of wake up and get myself ready and feel prepared for that shift, so that when I get there, I'm not groggy from my nap, but I have rested during the day. So if you can't sleep all day, which I know a lot of people do, I can't do that. I don't know why. I just can't sleep during the day. It's probably a light situation. But if you can't sleep during the day, the whole day, I would suggest taking a 2 to 3 hour nap and then recuperating after your shift. When it's over, take care of yourself then. But, so take a nap. Step 1. Step 2, I like to bring something to drink with me. I usually bring a very large coffee with me and sip it slowly throughout the night. It kind of just gives my mind something to do, but also caffeine is helpful when you're trying to stay awake overnight when you usually don't do that. So I like to bring food, snacks, drinks, and stuff with me if I am working overnight, and I'll plan for this during the day too. So if I'm eating 3 full meals during the day before I work a night shift, I'm not going to eat a full meal during my night shift, but I might plan for it and like save some room so that I can be snacking during the night shift, because that helps me stay awake for sure. So some of the snacks and stuff I like to bring, I love bringing myself some coffee. I still bring Dove dark chocolate squares with me because those are like mildly healthy and entertaining to eat. I like eating them, they're fun. But I will also bring, if your client isn't allergic to nuts, I like to bring like nuts with dark chocolate and dried cranberries, like dark chocolate chips and cranberries in a little container. So good. It's nice to eat in the middle of the night. Would recommend. Additionally, if you need coffee, this is the same for my video before. If you like having coffee with you, I bring a little tiny French press with me, and then also some like powdered creamer, which isn't great for me, but it's also 3 in the morning and that's not good for me either. But so I'll bring a mini French press, some coffee grounds, and then some powdered creamer so that I can make coffee in the middle of the night. This is if you have something arranged with your client where you can use their coffee pot. You don't have to do this, but some houses, they don't drink coffee or they don't want you to use their stuff, and so just bringing it all yourself and cleaning it up and making sure there's no residue or anything, that's the safest way to go. So having that in your night shift bag, especially if you're seeing new clients, is like a super effective way to make sure you get your caffeine fix, even if it's the middle of the night. You can also bring like canned coffee products or like a Monster or whatever you prefer to drink. If you need caffeine during the night, you can always have it like pre-made or pre-prepared. It's up to you. But I do like bringing a French press because it's like a little thing I can do in the middle of the night and be like, oh, I made myself some French press and it's 4 a.m. and I'm having a great time. So anything to keep yourself occupied. Okay, so then as far as actually surviving the shift, my biggest thing that I like to do is to split my shift into time blocks. And so one of the things that I'll do is sometimes your client's bedroom is close enough to where you are that you can't really be rummaging around in the kitchen, but if their bedroom is far enough back, or if you're not going to disturb them by doing stuff, I like to do a round around the house and kind of note things that I could do during the night. So I'll be like, oh, I could do the dishes, I could sweep, I could mop, I could clean the windows, I could do these things, and I'll make a list of those things. And then if I know that I have like 8 hours before that client usually gets up, I will do like one of the 8 things that I wrote down per hour. That way I have something to do every single hour, because what gets you, I think, in a night shift is if you don't have anything to do, you're gonna get really tired and you're gonna start like going a little wild. It's just hard to be awake all night long. So having something to do continually will help you stay awake. Another thing is, if you do have time and there's not a lot of stuff to do around the house, bring something, bring a book, bring a crossword puzzle, bring some homework. I like to stretch during my night shift, so I'll bring a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball or my foam roller even, and I'll just like stretch and move my body while I'm waiting for the client to need me during the night, because sometimes the nature of night shift home health nurses is you're not doing a ton of stuff. You're just there on call kind of when they need you. So having something to do to keep your mind occupied, to keep your body moving and get your blood pumping is really helpful for staying awake. But also, night shifts just take a huge toll on your body. So if you do have the opportunity to stretch or to do something that's relaxing or like taking care of yourself in some way during the night shift that you wouldn't have time to do during your normal day, like do that then, because like this is really hard stuff, especially if you're not a regular night shift nurse. So if you were like me and you're working night shifts and day shifts and all sorts of shifts, and it's not like a regular thing where you have a sleep schedule, take care of yourself, because it's really taxing on your body. Okay, so the video I made a year ago also is just like my CNA survival kit. So some of those things have updated and I've gotten some recommendations from people from that video. So if you're watching this and you watched that, thank you for leaving me a recommendation. But some things that have changed. So again, I like to keep the French press and the coffee grounds and the powdered creamer in my bag at all times. I like the dark chocolate. Did I say that already? Having an extra pair of scrubs is really important, because you could get them on you, you could get you on you, they could smell bad, you could rip them. Just have an extra pair of clothes, because you never know what's gonna happen to you. Extra socks, extra shoes, even if you have space in your bag for that, or even in your car, you really don't know what's going to happen. So having extra stuff of that. Also deodorant, unscented deodorant, unscented hand lotion. A lot of clients have like smell sensitivities, and so A, you don't want to be stinky, but B, you don't want to overwhelm them with your beautiful smells. So having some like unscented deodorant and unscented hand lotion for when you wash your hands all day and they're super dry. Having some of that around so it won't bother them, but also can kind of relieve your like crackedness. And then I also like to bring a phone charger with me, because all of the places that I work, we clock in with our phones. We either use an app or we text someone, and so having a dead phone is not the best situation, especially if you're trying to leave but you can't clock out, and then it just feel like you're not communicating correctly, and then it's just a mess. So I would recommend having a phone charger just in general if you're not at your home and somebody might need to get in contact with you, especially if you're taking care of a person, because if something were to happen and you don't know where their phone is or they don't have a phone, it's hard to contact emergency personnel. So just like take care of yourself and make sure you can contact people as well. And then I always like to keep a book, a journal, and pens with me so that I can do stuff during the night. I can write ideas down, I can brainstorm, I can do all sorts of stuff throughout the night. I love journaling and I love doodling and I love like planning stuff, and so that's something that can keep me occupied for hours, but that's something that I personally like to have in my bag. It's also nice for taking notes of things, so if you wanted to write a list of things that you needed to get done throughout the night, you can do that in that journal, but then you can also plan your next day or figure out when you're going to shower next or all those sorts of things. So that's something to keep me occupied, and if that's something that you're interested in doing, you can bring it as well. So that is all I have for you. I'm not currently working nights because I'm being a student right now, and I have learned that working nights and being a student is just like not super compatible. I did last year, and like all the semesters before last fall I worked nights, and I don't know how I did it, because right now I don't even do well when I get like 6 hours of sleep. I'm like, I'm not feeling it. But I used to work nights during the semester, so I don't know. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I am going to be doing an updated scrubs review because I talked about some scrubs in that video, but it wasn't super clear, so I have more now. I'm gonna do that video for you, so if you're interested, make sure that you find that because it's coming out around the same time that this one will. Okay, that's all I have for you. Enjoy this. Good luck at your shift. Bye.